Hi, and welcome again to Azure Tutorials. Today we are going to do part number 7. Small recap what we have done in the previous video. I think it was a bit long and hopefully it wasn't boring that much. So we have done together to be honest with you, the most important part, which is the orchestrator, how the orchestrator handling the other functions. And we said we are using something fan out, fan in. So orchestrator, he's controlling the media handlers activity. We say, I'm giving you 100 file, please process them with 100 function if you want, or yeah, they will be 100 function. So 100 function, they will run together and they will send the data to the orchestrator. So after the orchestrator get the data here, he will send it to the queue. But same time, don't forget, in that 100 functions are running and they are processing the data and send it to the cloud storage. Here in this one, we call it media. And after we get the URI or the URL from the URL with the product ID, so it will be sent again to the orchestrator. Orchestrator said, we'll send it now to a queue. That queue will take a list. Could be one, could be two object inside that list. We'll send it to or store it in the temporary in a queue. So now we reach this area here now. So we have done all this stuff. We send or we store the image URI with the product ID in here. So what we have to do, how we can send this data back to our database. So how I can pull that data, there is more than one way, but I will say the best way, I will not say the easiest way, is the best way, create again function to handle this data in the queue. I can create that one straight away in my ASP front end, but that will not be professional. But it's better to create a function called the queue handler. The queue handler will take the data from here and process it or do something with it and send it to the service bus. Service bus, that time you can create a worker or, as I said, or you can create a mass transit to store the data straight away to your database. But you can just, I need you to learn or to understand the benefit of all this stuff. So we are learning something new, and at the same time also we are trying to make a something, I will say it's a microservice. So my front end is always relaxing while I'm doing the hard job with the Azure Functions. So if you upload 100 image, your front end will take the order from the client or from the user and send it straight away to the Azure Function. Azure Function will handle all that heavy data there. I think that's the main benefit of it. So what we can do now, let's close our PowerPoint and yes, let's say where we've been. So as we said, we have done where we are now in the orchestrator. So the orchestrator took the data from the request, convert the data, and loop on the number of the images to be uploaded to the to our media container. I got the result of that images or the URIs from that container with the product ID. I take them all in one and I send it to a queue. Now my data all stored in something called in a queue called media URI. So now till here I'm waiting. I have nothing. So our next step is here to create a queue handler. So now we can learn how we can handle the data in the queue. So we send data to the queue, but how I can get it from there. So we can now create something called a queue trigger or queue handler. We have the HTTP trigger, and let's close all the too many stuff here. Let's create a new folder, and let's call it queue trigger. I'm copying a bit from the previous project because, to be honest with you, sometime in middle of the video or when sometime we try to save the video or convert it, I lose everything. So sometimes recording same video more than one time. So I prefer now to do it in the easiest way. Have always backup plan. So it will be same. I'm trying to explain as much as I can. in this one. So and here they are asking us, what's your connection string? You can leave it empty, you can do it after. And they are saying to you, which queue you want me to listen to, which it is media URI. So we said queue trigger, and we say add. So they will do all the hard job here for us. And here's our queue handler. Let me copy my previous code. It's cleaner and better. Let's say wing and wing it here. Okay, don't worry about this one. We'll come to this one after. What the heck is here? Control Z. So in this queue handler, we are saying listen to something called media URI queue with this connection string and get the message from there. So after you get the message, make sure the message is not null. After that, serialize that image to media response because we know where because we send the data there and we know the data it will be list of product ID with the URI. So we'll deserialize them here. Sorry, it will be single object, not a list. Let's make sure what we are saying here. If I back to my orchestrator and my handler here, so also in here, I'm sending this one output as a list. I will make sure this one is not wrong. I think what we've been doing is correct because we are handling a single one. I will leave this topic for now, and I'm gonna do just to show you what I was imagining is wrong, but it is correct. So if I go, as I said, we are from the orchestrator handler here. What we have, we've been here. So we have list of output. We handle it and we get it. And we send it to our send to queue activity. We are receiving here a list and big list here. After that, we are taking here the for loop to call that queue. So we are storing object by object. We are not storing a big list object. We are storing only single one. That's good. So let's back to our queue handler here. So in the queue handler here, what we are going to do here, so we take the data, we took it, so the queue handler is listening to the queue. He got the data and the message. He makes sure all good. So now what I need to do with this data, I need to send this data to something called service bus, which is something new for us now here. So the service bus is something is similar to the queue. You can send data and you can take it. But the good things in the service bus, so the service bus, there is two types. One called queue. So it's exactly, you can imagine it like the queue we are using here. You send data and you get it. When you get it, that's it. So that will be gone from there. But imagine if I want to send this data, I want more than one function to listen to that data. I want more than one user to use that data, not only one function. So in the Azure function, so in the service bus, they have something called the topic and the subscribers. Let me just make sure here what we are saying. So we have the topic. So people, they can subscribe to a topic. You can create a topic. The topic can be subscribed to more than one function. Let me try find small example. So in the best documentation we can find here in Microsoft, which is called Service Bus Queue Topic and Subscriptions. So from the image they put here, they have the first button, which is queues. So sender will send the message and receiver will receive it. That's the first button. That's what we remember us what we have done in the previous video. So we have a queue. I send. There is one receiver there. The other button, which it is the topic and subscriptions. So I have sender. He sent data, but this data can be received for more than one receiver. You know, imagine that you have for each receiver have his own queue, but the same sender can send to all these people. So same, you are broadcasting the message here. So we are going to use this type Y. I think it is better in our scenario because imagine if I have send you an image for a product, or I send you image for a customer or a profile. So all of them, they will be listening to the same place. The data will be the data for or the data structure will be same, because I have, rather than have product ID, I will have user ID, but I will have the image there. So that's back to the architecture, how you want to do it. But for me, I think it's easier for me here to use the topic and subscriptions. And the same way we have saw that together always, that in the previous video, how we work with the queues. So let's try to do what here. Let's clean the code and fix this stuff first. So I want to get if I go to this one here, come on please. Which one's going here? Oh, this is the main one. We don't need this one. So I want to create a new one. I don't need to go to Microsoft one. I want to go to the shared library, which it is here. I can do it in here, just to have always the same structure between the client and will be public, also static. Yeah. So just to save the naming, or to make it's a generic naming between the both of projects. So because we'll use this again in the front in the project. So this one, which one is, what the heck is this Visual Basic? Take it here and my. Again, we need to create a service to call the service bus. And we can go again to the interfaces here and let's say create for me service for the topic. So we have only single function here, also just to handle the data or send the data to Azure. So it will be send message as sync. So I'll give the topic name and my message. That's it here. So the other one, I need my implementation. Say my implementation will be in this folder here. I will say create a class, will be ding ding, and this one here, you don't need it. Okay, we are implementing this interface and we are sending the connection string, and we have only one function, will return nothing. So that function will receive a topic and will receive the same time the message. So we are making sure the connection string is not empty. We create object from that topic client. We are passing connection string as the topic name. We are preparing our message to be as a message, and we convert it to a byte here. We are passing, it's important to pass the type, which is we are using here application JSON, because that in the front end will be different for us, and we have to make sure what we are sending here is a type of application JSON. I don't want it to be a string there, and we'll have issue with the mass transit. And that's it here. We store it, or we save everything. If I back here, I can call it straight away, but do not forget to register it in the program. So it will be same here, but the sad news is we do not have emulator or local emulator similar to what we have for the queue or for the storage. There is no emulator for Azure Service Bus. So you have to have Azure account. You can create free one. And you can see, I think there is many video how to create a service bus in there. You know, it's very simple process. You don't need to waste time on it. But I need to pass my connection string. So this connection string should be a secret connection string. I'm gonna put it here because this is for training only. So I will do it like that. I don't know if I pass it also to my GitHub, but I will leave it for practicing. That's fine. So we have passed our connection string and we register our Azure Service Bus, which we said it should be online or something from Azure straight away. We don't have emulator for that one. So we have finished 99% of the work. After we got the message from the queue, we have taken that image, we deserialize it, we send it to the service bus using the topic. So now, after we send it there, there will be people listening or people waiting this message. So we are here now. So how I can make this connection between the service bus and my front end. I'm gonna leave this video short, and in the next video will be hopefully the final video. We'll see how we can create the connection between the service bus and the ASP MVC client. So how we can update the data in the database, or how we can insert that URL, the image URL inside in the database with the product ID. That will be in the next video. We'll try to do it together, and at the same time we do a final test for everything step by step, and we see it in the next video.